Hey guys, good morning. So I've just woke up again. Today I'm hoping to actually get dressed, um, and go human. Um, but we shall see if I manage it. So yeah, these new meds are absolutely kicking my butt. Like extreme fatigue. Like yesterday, I ended up taking an afternoon nap. I didn't want to take an afternoon nap, but I had no choice in the matter. My brain and my body just gave up. Um, it's like got really bad to the fatigue. Just doing one activity wipes me out for the whole day completely. Yesterday, I think I cleaned the kitchen a little bit. I loaded the dishwasher and put that on, and I wiped down the sides, the kitchen sides, and I was absolutely wiped out afterwards, and just, I'm still absolutely wiped out now. I tried to sleep last night. I slept a little bit, but I had trouble getting to sleep. My brain just didn't want to shut off. But yeah, and I'm extremely tired this morning. It's a Sunday though, so. But yeah, I'm hoping to get myself ready and go out to get some fresh air for a little bit. Go along Western Shore, along the river there, and maybe stop in for a pub lunch at the pub. I don't know. See if John wants to come with me. Try and get him out of bed. I think he could do with a nice walk. So I've been stuck in the flat for quite a while, for almost a week, I think, more than that probably. I think last time I went out was last week to do a bit of shopping, and that was it. But yeah, so I finally got my letter from my GP for the management move, which is good. The housing officer is coming up in the next few days to pick that up and fill out some more forms for me for the management move, and stuff like that. So yeah, that should be good. I just want to go to sleep. My neighbour has been relatively well behaved the past couple of weeks. We had a bit of noise from him, mostly just playing loud music. A bit of banging on the walls, but that's about it. But he hasn't been shouting and screaming threats and abuse at us, so that's a good thing. That's a plus. So yeah, but still, me and John are like, yeah, we still want to move because we still don't feel safe, But yeah, Squeak seems to be doing a bit better as well. She's had issues with her stomach, and I think it is due to anxiety, because of all of the noise and everything from the neighbour. It has upset her as well. It's triggered her anxiety. So we managed to get some stuff for her the other day to help her with that. So we got one of these plug-in diffuser things, with these natural oils in it that are supposed to help calm cats down and help with their anxiety and stuff like that. So we plugged that in and it has worked a charm. She is much calmer. We can tell that because she doesn't run for her life when she hears a drinks can open. You know, she doesn't run for her life every time John gets out of his chair. You know, I mean, she don't run for her life at every little sound now. She still gets startled sometimes by sounds, but yeah, she's a lot better now with that. So yeah, and we got her a few new toys and stuff like that. So she's pretty happy. She's in bed at the moment. She won't wake up until John does. Those two love to have a lie-in together. She might get up in a minute and come ask for food, but then I'll get her food and then she'll just go back to bed. She won't even eat the food, she'll just go back to bed. You know, it's because she has a routine. She gets fed at a certain time of the day and she knows when that time is, so she'll come remind me. And she'll probably also come tell me off because I'm supposed to be taking my pills right about now. So if she doesn't hear me taking my pills, she'll probably come tell me off in a minute. So I better do that. But yeah, so other than all of what I've just spoke about, I'm so confused right now, so foggy, like keep losing track of what I'm doing and who I am. So I've just got to check, because where I've got new medication now, and it's all it's changed up the medication routine, so I have to make sure I'm taking the right meds at the right time, and because I get easily confused with it, and like then I end up taking too much of the meds or not enough, or yeah, it just so I have to read the labels just to make sure it's the right one and how much I should be taking and when I should be taking it. No, not that one. That one. I think that is it. Oh, and we need that one. Also take paracetamol. Like, I take so many of these things. It's crazy. They're getting really expensive now as well, paracetamol. I remember it used to be like a couple of pence for a packet. It's gone right up. I'm not sure how much it is now, I can't remember, but it is more than it used to be. Usually John buys them for me. he goes to a shop and comes home with like a couple of packets each time, because they only sell you 2 packets at a time at a shop. They can't sell you anymore. And I go through 2 packets of paracetamol in less than a week, you know, so it's crazy. But yeah, so coming to terms with this new medication routine, also coming to terms with the newfound heart issues and stuff. So yeah, apparently it is heart failure. So basically, because my heart is not pumping correctly and it's not pumping the blood around the body correctly, so it's known as heart failure. And heart failure does get slowly, progressively worse. I think I'm in the early stages now, which is where they can control it with medication and diet. Then if it starts to get worse, they then have to start thinking about surgery and stuff like that. So things like a bypass or a pacemaker, or even in worst cases, I think, transplant. So it might be a few years till it gets to that kind of point where surgery's needed, but I have to now change my life and be kept well. Don't really need to change my life a lot because I had the issues beforehand, but now I have to be very, very careful about what I do, because yeah, a lot of exercise and everything can cause massive issues with my heart, and yeah, they advise against, for me anyway. I mean, I think with normal people and heart failure, people that do not have Marfan syndrome, some exercise is required with heart failure. They do recommend certain exercises to help strengthen the heart or whatever. But with a patient with Marfan syndrome, it's a different story. For me, it's a different story anyway. Because I have other heart issues as well, and I had surgery a few years ago on my aorta for a aortic aneurysm, and I have damage to my aorta and everything. I have to be extremely careful with exercise, because if I put stress, because exercise does put stress on your heart, so if I put too much stress on my heart, it could damage my aorta even further. So, and now with this heart failure, the fact that my heart is not beating correctly and it's not pumping blood around my body properly, yeah, so like I've got to be extremely careful. So yeah, and I have found that any activity like like any activity I was doing was causing dizzy spells and nausea and fainting spells and stuff like that, which is what alerted me to the fact that there was an issue going on. So when they said, yeah, it's heart failure, I was a bit like, right, okay, makes sense. So yeah, controlling it with meds. I will say some of the meds I'm taking are helping the issue. I'm getting less dizzy spells, less fainting spells. But now I've just got to contend with the side effects from the meds. Which is basically just the extreme fatigue. Now I can either give in to the extreme fatigue and just stay in bed all day, every day, which has no quality of life whatsoever, or I can choose to try and get up and human even with the extreme fatigue. And as people who know me will tell you, I will choose the latter of those two options. I will get up and I will get moving despite the fatigue. Even if I'm out with friends and I fall asleep mid-conversation with a friend, you know, that's likely to happen, by the way. So friends, family who are watching this, if I'm out with you, if I'm with you and I fall asleep mid-conversation, it's not because I'm being rude to you, it's not because you're boring me, it's because of my medication and the fact that I'm suffering with extreme fatigue and my body and my brain has just given up, and yeah, I have no energy left at all. It's nothing to do with you or your conversation. So yeah, I just ask, be patient with me. That's the meds done. Yay. I've got to wait 2 hours now before I can have breakfast. Because some of them pills I just took, you got to take on an empty stomach. But then other pills I have that I have to take are better. They recommend take on a full stomach. So like naproxen, you need, I have a stomach protector to take with my naproxen so that it doesn't damage my stomach lining, which is helpful. But it is recommended that you do take naproxen on a full stomach, because that helps protect your stomach a bit more. So there I've had to go, right, what's more important, my stomach lining or my heart? And I did try to take the heart pills on a full stomach. Yeah, and it made me feel really, really sick and nauseous all day, and I kept feeling like I wanted to throw up. So yeah, so I've had to pick between the lesser of two evils. The naproxen, if I take that on an empty stomach, it doesn't make me feel ill. So, and I have the stomach protectors, the Omeprazole. So, or Omeprazolo, or however you pronounce it. So yeah, so yeah, plan today, get myself moving, get up, get ready, go out, get some fresh air, because I'm not the type of person to give up and sit around and be like, yeah, well, I'm too fatigued, I'm too tired to human. I'm not that type of person. I don't like sitting around all day doing bugger all. I have to be doing something, whether it be going out, doing stuff, or doing some kind of project, sat at my desk. I have to be doing something, you know. So, yeah, out and about today. Hopefully, I won't fall asleep whilst out. I remember after my heart surgery, all the meds I was on then made me extremely fatigued, like, very extremely fatigued. I would fall asleep in the supermarket, just pushing the trolley along, and 1 minute I'm like seemingly wide awake, talking to John, and the next second I'm slumped over the trolley asleep. John said it's like I had narcolepsy or something. Even crossing the road, at one side of the road I'd be wide awake, and then in the middle of the road I'd be asleep, stood on my feet still, just and I was about to fall over, and John's noticed, grabbed me, shook me a little to wake me up, and was like, come on, and had to get me across the road, so I didn't get flattened by a bus or something. It can get really, really bad. So if I have to go out on my own, I'm probably not going to go too far from home. Probably just down to the shore, sit there for a little bit, get some fresh air and sunshine, and then come back. Because I don't want to risk going too far from home on my own, and then having an attack of fatigue and passing out in the middle of the road or something, you know. So yeah, it can be quite dangerous, especially if I'm trying to pilot a wheelchair as well. That's going to be interesting, falling asleep whilst trying to pilot my wheelchair. But yeah, I think getting up and moving around does help. Getting fresh air does help. If anything, it helps your mental health. And where mental health and physical health are connected, if you're feeling physically ill, you'll start to feel mentally low and ill as well, and vice versa. So your mental health does have an impact on your physical and vice versa. So you need to look after both. So in going out, even though I know I'm probably going to have an attack of fatigue and fall asleep, in going out I am looking after my mental health, which then will have an impact later on my physical health, if that makes sense. And also it helps to condition myself to the fatigue, because just giving up and going, oh well, you know, I won't condition myself to it, if that makes sense. Getting up and fighting through it helps condition you to that and helps you learn how to work around that, you know. So my advice is, if you're someone who's struggling with extreme fatigue, I know it's really difficult, but don't just give up. Don't lay there and let the fatigue take over. Get up and fight through it and try to do stuff, even if it's just pottering around the house still, doing housework. If you feel extreme fatigue, and just get up and do something, you know. Don't let the fatigue take control. I know it's easier said than done, believe me, but yeah, I'm starting to feel a bit more awake now. Um, but yeah, I'm going to wait for these meds to kick in and then probably have some breakfast and then get ready and go out. Yeah. I might do some videos while I'm out, I don't know, take some pictures or something. I don't know. I've took my little action cam off of my wheelchair at the moment, because where I was going out with the wheelchair to places, you know, I didn't really need it on, and it kind of gets in the way sometimes, and also I do get worried, because I went for a night out with a friend the other week, and I had to leave my wheelchair unattended. So yeah, like leaving a wheelchair unattended. I know this is not like an extremely expensive camera. It's not. It's a cheap bit of crap, but still, like, you know, it's that sitting on my wheelchair in plain view. That's like an advert. Come steal me. Yeah. So but so I only put that on my wheelchair when yeah, when I'm off out normal places, not out for nights out to the pub. Because it does attract some attention having a camera on your wheelchair. People kind of look at you like, why are you filming me? It's like, I'm not filming you. It's not even switched on. Calm down. So yeah, I switch it on and start filming if I come across a drop curb that is wonky. Or as I like to call them, curbs of doom or spine breakers. So yeah, I filmed those. I'm hoping to do more of that soon. Yeah, I've managed to film some areas around where I live, and I'm planning to send the footage in to like the council and stuff like that, so that they can come fix the issues. Because the area I'm living in is terrible for wheelchairs. It's not very wheelchair friendly at all. The immediate area outside my building, it's all lovely smooth tarmac, which is brilliant. But once you get out of my road, yeah, like all bets are off. It's wonky drop curbs, potholes that slingshot you into oblivion. Yeah, it's massive cracks in the road, in the pavement and road and everything. So yeah, it's like, it's horrible. So it's not very wheelchair friendly in this area, which is another reason which is good to get a move, really, because now I'm going to be relying on my wheelchair a lot more. I need to rely on that a lot more. So yeah, for my own independence, I think moving out of this area to somewhere wheelchair friendly would be better, because at the moment I struggle getting out and about, because of all the wonky drop curbs and everything. I usually get so anxious about it that I'm like, John, you're going to have to come with me just in case I encounter a wonky drop curb, which I know in my area I'm going to. I mean, I can't even get to the shops on my own at the moment because of wonky drop curbs. And there's a massive main road, with all wonky drop curbs, which I cannot manage on my own. So I have to actually come down on the road and up a long, busy main road, with buses and cars coming both ways, just so I can get to the shop. So yeah, it's really, really dangerous. So I do not attempt that. So I can't even get to the shop on my own. The other direction up round to the shop, there is a massive hill. My wheelchair doesn't cope with hills very well. The Igo, that's the only downside with the Igo. It's not off road. It doesn't like hills. So yeah, and on this massive hill, there are cracks and potholes all along the pavement, all along the pathway, and yeah, so trying to go up a hill with a wheelchair that doesn't like it and keeps losing traction and rolling backwards and steering going funny, and then you hit a pothole, and yeah, so I don't do that on my own. I don't go to the shop on my own, because yeah, I can make it to the bus stop on my own just about now. I had to practice a lot with that, because the bus stop there's like this little cutway, but it's a slight incline, and there are a few potholes and cracks. At the beginning of the pathway, there's a tree root grown under the concrete, which has pushed the concrete up. So it's like a big bump I got to go over. And every time I went over the bump, it would throw my steering off, and my wheelchair would go off to the side straight into some railings. So yeah, but now I've managed to figure out how to traverse that without being steered into the railings. And I've managed to traverse the slope and everything and get to the bus stop on my own. So that I'm good with. I had to practice a lot to do that. So now I can do that on my own without help. But the big hill up to the shop, I cannot manage on my own, and I will not even attempt the route with the main road, because no, I don't want to get flattened. So yeah, it would be nice to live somewhere that is wheelchair friendly, so if I want to go to the shop on my own, I can do, you know. But yeah, so I think that's it for this video. But yeah, so yeah, I feel like that's all I've been doing lately is vlogs and whatnot, and I've not even been putting my logo or my intro on them, because I'm just switch my phone on and video with that rather than my vlogging camera, because my phone camera is just as good as my vlogging camera. It's a really good camera. It's a Google Pixel phone, and they have really good cameras. So yeah, sorry if the camera's wobbling a little bit. I have it on this weird gimbal thing, and the gimbal thing just, it's not very good. It keeps making the phone go wonky. Which yeah, I know that's what gimbals are supposed to do. They're supposed to move with, if you're moving with the phone or whatever. But the one I've got, it's not even switched on. You're supposed to Bluetooth it to your phone. And it's got like a tripod and a selfie stick on it, and you're supposed to be able to hold it, and when you move with the selfie stick and you do stuff like this with it and turn it upside down and all, the phone turns on it. It turns the phone, so you get a more stable shot. But yeah, it's not even Bluetooth to my phone, and it's not even switched on, but it just like, yeah, I don't know, it's a weird little contraption. But the gimbal, when it's switched on, it does work pretty well. So yeah. Maybe if I do some filming today when I'm out and about, I can use the gimbal and on the selfie stick and, I don't know, film some stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to shut up now because I've been on and on for ages. And yeah, I thought I'd just keep you all updated on what's happening and everything. So yeah, I shall speak to you all later. Bye bye.